Hey guys, what's up? I'm CJ and welcome back to my galaxy. Today I unfortunately have to watch Twilight. I have never watched Twilight before. I managed to miss that whole vampire craze because that was not what I was into at the time. So I was into the Hunger Games. So I've never watched the movies. I'm watching the first movie today. And I don't want to be doing that. I'm about to lose 2 hours and 4 minutes of my life to this movie. So don't vote for another Twilight movie in my comment section community tab. I was trying to figure out what it's called. I forgot. Community tab. Because we vote in my community tab on what film we're going to be watching every week. Next week, I'll announce next week's movie at the end of this video. I already know what it's going to be. But you'll find out at the end of this video. So I'm going to go watch Twilight and I'll update you guys while I'm watching that. I'm only like 2 minutes into this movie. Like the credits are still rolling at the beginning of the movie. Kind of only just started this movie, you know what I mean, right? And her mum already abandoned her to become a van lifer, to hit the road, and was like, I'm kind of done with you now. What? What do you mean? That, why? What the hell? All I'm hearing is exposition, and more exposition. Could have shown that to me instead of told it to me. Jeez, what happened to his hair? I feel like his hair is short in the rest of the movies. I don't think I've ever seen anything with Jacob's hair being long. No posters or anything. So iconic. The iconic scene of her smelling really bad. So what I've learnt so far is that incest is okay in this movie, and even though I don't know the lore of the vampires, seems like incest is accepted, and Anna Kendrick's character is the only person who's sane out of everyone. This scene here that everyone makes fun of on the internet, look at what she's doing. It's likely that bottle was probably almost empty and she was just trying to get the empty bottle to, like, get the rest of the sauce out of the almost empty bottle. That's probably what was happening. I will give the movie a pass on that one. It's not weird. I know you can keep making fun of it, but that's probably the least weird thing I've seen in this whole movie so far. Ew, this guy's ugly. Attractively has nightmare with vampire boy standing in the corner of her room. Who is going to tell me that the actress who plays Rosita in The Walking Dead is also in Twilight? Were you guys just going to keep that from me and let me just watch this movie? I love The Walking Dead. I breathe The Walking Dead. Except for the last few seasons. The first 3 seasons, I live and breathe. Because I grew up watching it. I love Rosita. Guys, come on. The actress, it makes it just that much better. This is the worst movie I've ever watched. God. That is so creepy. Oh my god. What is she doing? What is this? That was truly one of the worst movies I've ever watched. I don't think I have ever watched a movie that had so much exposition and yet no explanation of the world building at all. You know, world building, it was completely awful. I don't understand how the vampires work whatsoever. I expected more Jacob, to be honest. The way people talk about it, like the Jacob versus, there's my cat, Willow, moving off the lounge. The Jacob versus Edward love triangle thing, I thought there'd be more. of the two of them fighting or something. And I feel like they might be in the next movie then. But I also, yeah, it was really weird that Jacob was barely in it. Yeah, and the fact that Jacob is Native American, didn't realize that. I had no clue going into this movie that he was Indigenous whatsoever. That was quite the shock. And his long hair, I haven't seen him with long hair in the like movie clips that people have shown, people talking about it, didn't know that. Apparently Taylor Lautner is like distantly Indigenous, which doesn't, you know, if he wants to identify as Indigenous, I'm not going to take that away from him. I'm distantly Indigenous, kind of. It's just kind of how it works culturally, but I didn't know that. When I looked it up, I was like, what? But that's not what made the movie terrible. What made the movie truly terrible was the teenage awkwardness just seeping through the screen at me. And I knew that it was going to be cringe, but I didn't realize it was going to be that freaking bad. Every time Edward and Bella were like even like anywhere close to each other, I was like, I feel like I'm intruding on something right here. I feel uncomfortable. It was weird, and I did not want to see them making out. I literally skipped through that scene because I was like, don't need that in my life. I still cannot believe you guys actually made me watch that movie. Twilight is not a good movie. I don't know how to describe each scene because, you know, the teenage awkwardness, yeah, it made it really bad, but there's a part of me that just wants to like grab that script and rewrite it because I'm like, I can fix it. You know, that's one of my toxic traits. I feel like if I were to get into Hollywood, I could go through every single franchise, every single company and just like fix it all. You know, could I in reality do that? Probably not. But you know what? It's the dream. That's what I want to do. I'll fix it. I'll do it. Watch me do it, guys. I would, for a video, even if you guys want me to do it, I could like tell you how I would rewrite Twilight, because I feel like Twilight is a bunch of people who kept making the wrong decisions. It had so much potential, but people just made all the wrong decisions continually, which made the potential just go away. Poof, it's gone. It's gone. No more potential for Twilight, just from the first movie, and they continued on. Oh my god. Now, for the people who actually really enjoy Twilight, I'm not going to judge you. I'm going to be so honest. When I first started watching it, I was like, okay, I see the vision. You know, I don't like it. Not my vibe. But if you like the movie, honestly, it's a trashy film. And I know a lot of people love trashy films, which is fair, because sometimes you just want to sit down and watch a movie and just enjoy it for the sake of enjoying it, and do it. I don't care. Twilight isn't it's the worst movie I've ever watched, but there are a lot of really bad movies I avoid watching. One prime example is Sharknado and that entire franchise. I will never watch those movies unless you guys force me to, which for the love of God, don't do that. But those movies I will never watch, because those are probably worse movies than Twilight, at least the clips I've seen. Because what is the premise of those movies? Why do Sharknadoes exist? That doesn't make any sense. There's no world building there. The world building is trash. And it's Twilight at least has a little bit of exposition. Now, to be fair, Bella's narration is completely unnecessary, but it does provide us a little bit of information of what was going on in her head at the time. And her dreams actually being him watching her sleep. What the hell? He was actually watching her sleep. That reminds me, right? Edward said that he wants to kill Bella. If a man said that to me, I'd be running for the hills. Does Bella have no sense of self-preservation? If someone told me that they were a vampire as well, running for the hill, this guy's crazy. You know, he's not a vampire. He's a psychopath. To the people who love Twilight, I'm not judging you, but, you know, I'm gonna judge you if you tell me that you love it as like a world building sort of thing. If you tell me that you like it other than just for the sake of liking it and it's a fun watch, if it's a fun watch, I'm like, okay, great, go ahead. But if you're like, oh, the world building's great and they're great characters and their characterization amazing. I'm not saying I'm judging you, but I'm fully judging you. I'm sorry. Why? I know there's a lot of like not conspiracy theories, just theories of how the world building is, because the author seems to have not given enough information. And I just want to circle back to the narration of Bella in this movie. I did not expect that. I don't understand why that happened in the movie. It didn't add to anything, it just added to the teenage awkwardness and how annoying the film was. Look, at the end of the day, Twilight actually wasn't as bad as I thought it was. There's definitely potential in the movie that I wish would have been utilized back in 2008 or 7 or whenever the hell it was made. I think it's 2008. I forget what year. Correct me in the comments, I don't care. Back in the early 2000s when the Twilight was originally made, they could have done a lot more with it. And I can already kind of tell that the author is apparently Mormon. I can tell that she's kind of religious, just the way the characters conduct themselves. I don't know how to describe it to you, but there are like, culturally, I can kind of tell. I don't know how to describe how I can tell, but I can see it. I can see the vision of like the Mormon in the author. So the main takeaways from Twilight is that it's not as bad as I thought it would be. It's a lot of teenage awkwardness, like a lot. And that's probably what's making the movie bad, is the pure it's not even angst. It's not angst. It's just the running, the running, the way that they animated CGI'd or whatever, the way that they run, that was hella weird. And every time like Edward is carrying Bella, it's like, why? The next takeaway is that I could definitely rewrite the script, and maybe I will one day. Maybe there'll be a remake. I sincerely believe once they are done making books and movies on this franchise, I think that there is a potential for a remake and better. I know a lot of people say the books are better. I'm not entirely sold on that, but, they could do better. Maybe a little bit more book accurate. Sorry, I mispronounced that. A little more book accurate, so the movies are slightly better. And I feel like the book adaptation to film could be better if it was remade, and remade by someone who actually knows what they're doing, like me. Not that I'd actually be able to do that, but in theory I would be able to rewrite it. I feel like there's just a way to make it like teenage awkward without making the audience cringe. I cringed the entire time. Also, another takeaway is the world building. Worst I've ever seen. There's like one thing over here and then there's another thing over here, and I don't really understand how old all the vampires are, and the fact that it still feels a little incestuous that they're all together. I said earlier in the video that it feels like incest, but they're not technically related, and I know that they aren't actually related with the world building, but they still feel related. Also, another thing that I forgot to mention is that Edward is 107. Can you imagine a man in a retirement home, which is practically what he is, a man in a retirement home, hitting on a teenager, a 17-year-old young little girl? Bella is a child, and that's not how they're treating her. They're treating Edward as if he's a child as well, honestly, and he's not that. And I feel like they really got that age dynamic. I know I've heard people speak about it before, about the age dynamic in vampires and specifically Twilight, and I just want to point out he's 107. I just feel like I need to incest and huge age gap. That is completely inappropriate. What the hell? Twilight's a bad movie, and please don't make me watch the next movies or any of the other movies, please. And on that note, what are we watching next? I will tell you guys. It's on my laptop, and we are watching hang on. So the vote, I gave you the options. I gave you 3 options. If you guys want to vote next time on what the next movie is, you can go to Discord where we will be narrowing down the 3 options that I will be putting on my community tab. If you don't have Discord or don't want to join the Discord server linked in the description, by the way. It will be, the final 3 options will be posted on my community tab on Monday throughout the week. That sort of thing, which is what we did last week for our next film club. Detention 2011, Josh Hutcherson's film, got 21%. I know someone in my comment section and on my Discord server really wanted that one to be chosen, but unfortunately it's not. It came third, but you know, if you guys want that to be an option in the future to vote on, we'll do that. The Twilight Saga New Moon got 36%. Thank God it came second for my own sanity. Divergent got 44%. So next week we are going to be watching Divergent. So if you guys like that film, let me know. All I can remember is that I got really bored the last time I watched it. I watched it once and then didn't watch the rest of the movies. I also know that they never finished that franchise. I think there's still one book that wasn't adapted. Alright, so Twilight, that movie sucked. I'm so mad that you guys wanted me to watch it. That was a waste of 2 hours and 4 minutes. Complete waste. I'm not gonna judge the people who like the movie because once again, like I said, it had potential. The characters, what even was Jacob in that movie? I feel like he's too important in the fandom to have compared to how he is in the actual movies. It's like Gale. Like everyone hates on Gale. Like, which are you, Team Gale or Team Peter? Like obviously Team Peter. Team Jacob or Team Edward? Edward's the only one she's clearly interested in. Jacob's barely in the story, guys. Come on. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Comment down below your thoughts. I would love to hear them. Let me know everything you know about Twilight. Did you like it? Do you hate it? What do you think of the franchise as a whole? Once again, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. But I've been CJ, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!